Okay, so now that the ticket is marked ready, usually it's time for us to pick up the ticket for when the customer comes in and picks it up. They could either hand you a receipt with their information already on it, or you can just simply ask for their information for us to fill in. Regardless of it, in order to pick up a ticket, we need to click on Pick Up Ticket on the main menu, which I just did right now, and that'll send us to the pickup window. And sort of a bit of a precursor for this exact scenario, I've actually written a couple tickets and I marked those tickets ready and also assigned location. So before you go ahead and pick up a ticket, I already assume that you've written some tickets and assigned the location or marked tickets ready for this specific case. So from here, we could actually search for the customer that's just walked in. We could either search the ticket by the ticket number. So if we have the ticket on hand and ready to type it in, we can type it in right here, and then we can click on Pickup by Ticket, and that will redirect us to the customer's pickup window, which will also display any previous tickets that are in process and also those that are ready to be picked up. And the other sort of most common way, which is actually very common, is to type in the person's name. Again, this is a wildcard function, so I can just type in part of the name, so any names that contain the Francis, and I'll go ahead and click search or just press enter. And down here we'll have the names filter, so I have two customers that contain Francis within the name. So we have the name, the account number. If they have an address, all their information will be put in here. Their last transaction, how much money they spent with you, and how many number of tickets they've done with you as well. So to go into to pick up the items for that certain customer, I'll go ahead and do for Francisco test. We can either double click on or click on pick up tickets. I'll just go ahead and double click. And here we can see all the tickets that are in process and ready to be picked up. And the ones that are ready to be picked up have an R for ready status and will automatically have a check mark placed for you. So down below we also have a running total for all the tickets that have have a check mark already in place. So we could actually remove certain things, and the running total will sort of refresh. And we could actually also add tickets that are still in process, and that'll actually filter down below. In this case, the customer urgently needs their tickets, so you can go ahead and retrieve the items from, I don't know, let's say your assembly area, bring them back, and then when it's all processed, this ticket will be marked P for picked up, and it'll also, like I said before, it'll also sort of refresh the amount due at the bottom. Now, if we want to see the details for that pertaining ticket, we can just click on highlight, or highlight the certain ticket, and we can see on the left sort of the description, the details. So on this ticket that's already ready, we can see that there's one blouse, two shirts, and then one ugly sweater. So we can see the items and also the upcharges pertaining for that certain ticket. So if you want to see all the show all tickets for the last 30 days, we can click on this button. It'll sort of show all the tickets regardless of their ready status for all 30 days, including the ones that we've written for today. We can show all tickets regardless again of ready status and date. So we can click on show all tickets, and it'll sort of give you a confirmation, a warning saying that they're probably gonna have a lot of tickets, at least for if there's a customer that comes in regularly and has a lot of tickets, it'll sort of display. So we click on OK, and it'll sort of filter out this customer doesn't have too many tickets at least. So that's pretty good. We can also, let's see, we can show all the tickets ready for pickup. So we can filter out or just filter all the ones that are ready to be picked up and ignore all the ones that are in process. So I just clicked on that, and then it'll show all the ones that aren't ready. And this will show tickets in process will do the exact opposite. It'll ignore all the ones that are ready to be picked up and show all the ones that are in process. We could always add a coupon in the form of dollar amount. So it'll sort of like subtract from the total amount due. And remember that this only works in dollar amount and not in percentages. On the left side, we can see that we have a select all. So let me just go ahead and click on show all tickets for the last 30 days. We can select all, so that'll put a check mark for all the ones currently on screen, or we can just click on select all. So we just can toggle through multiple items. We can click on Pickup List button, which will print out a report showing all the locations for the items for the particular ticket that you've selected. So we clicked on ones like this ready one and this one as well. We can sort of see the items that are currently on location, so we don't have to report back to the computer for each individual item just to check its location. This list, sort of this report in a receipt form, it'll sort of list all the ones, and it just makes for a process, an easier process for you. Now, if the customer, for whatever reason, wants to pay only and not pick up the selected tickets, you can click on the pay only, no pickup. This may be because the items are not ready yet, even though the receipt indicated that it was, or maybe because they just don't have time to pick them up. Regardless of the reason, you can go ahead and pay without picking them up. Also, if at any time you want to switch to a different customer, if you want to like sort of cancel all of this, you can switch to a different customer. You can click on search, go back, and select the customer, and go back to this screen for the for this select customer. What am I saying? Also, speaking about customer, you can see we're currently working with Francisco Test. Their account number, and down here we have if they are a loyalty, how many loyalty dollars they have, when's the last time they were here, and then how much money they spent. If the customer is a delivery customer and has an address inputted under the customer information, they can press this button, map to customer for delivery, which will send it to Google Maps on whatever default browser you have, so you can go ahead and view, see the big picture in terms of where they are, where they're located in a map. Okay, and lastly, when we're done, we can go ahead and cash out. So we can select the certain number of tickets that we want. So I'm just going to click on this one that's ready, that's on location 267, and we're going to go ahead and cash out. So let's click on cash out. So we have a lot of options here. We can go ahead and pay with cash, pay by check, or pay by credit card in sort of like in your general credit card system, or you can go ahead and process it through XCharge credit card, integrated automatic processing, which I'll add information down at the bottom, or you can just follow us through our website, and there's more information there. We can go ahead and toggle through this dollar amount if we want to pay by cash or by check. We have $5, $10, $20 for the tender amount, or we can go up to $100. We can add more dollars if we want to, so add $2 more, that'll add 102, or we can add $4 to make it 106, or we can just delete this, add the certain number, or we can pay by exact, or we can go ahead and pick up only and not pay for the ticket. We can make a direct sale, which meaning that it'll sort of process it immediately as picked up. We can go ahead and print a separate receipt. We can pay via a gift card that you sold to them. So we can go ahead and scan it. A little bit more on that later on. And lastly, we can go ahead and place on account. This is for the account customers. So if the customer is an account customer, then you can go ahead and place this ticket on account by paying the exact, by saying pay exact. So we currently have that on, and we can go ahead and place this amount of money on their account. So now, depending on how you run your store, at the end of the month, you can go ahead and print the AR statement, which will get mailed to them, and then they can send you the payment of the money they owe you for that month. So they can pay you via check or cash or however transaction you do, maybe different currency like euros or pesos, or maybe even Monopoly money. Yay! Now, when you place on account, that ticket will be marked as picked up, and it'll also show that that person did pay for it, but the way in which they paid for it will be shown as on account. Yeah, hopefully that makes sense. But a little bit more information on a later video, which will be explained in an accounts receivable. Okay, now that we're done with this, we can go ahead and finalize the payment. So let's say they are paying with cash. So let's just say that they paid an actual $10. So we can pay by cash. The cash drawer will open if you have one automatically. You owe them $1.50, so it'll click OK and send us back to the main menu. And that is how you write a ticket. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.